Hi, happy Monday. Welcome to the live. Welcome back if you've been here before. I'm the Urban Seer, your guide to love, destiny and manifesting the life you desire. I go live every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. So please be sure to join us. Anyone watching the replay, just come along, bring your questions and receive a free reading. Anyone who is here and would like a free reading, just click the link in the pinned comment. Anyone who would like a deeper reading, so 3, 5 or 7 card, which do include a queue jump as well, so paid readings take priority. You can also check the pinned comment. Private readings are available for those that are interested via Zoom or recorded video. Link is in my bio and in the chat. And just a reminder of how I read. I'm an energy reader, so tuning into you and your situation to bring clarity. So please no yes, no questions or timeline, and please just provide as much context as possible. It allows me to connect with your energy and anyone else involved in the situation, if that's applicable. I'm not a psychic medium who work differently, yeah? And please hold your questions until called as well. And if there is no response when I do call, I will just need to skip you, just so we can keep things moving and keep fair to everyone else who has a reading. Some of you may already be aware of this, and thank you so much to those that have already subscribed. But I have now launched my new manifestation music channel called Seer Sounds, which will help elevate your energy and amplify your manifestations. So please do consider subscribing. The link is at the top of the chat, and you can also find the link in my homepage. I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to that. Thank you to those who already have. I'm just going to put up a quick disclaimer. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. It should never replace professional advice, whether medical, legal, financial or otherwise. Always use your own judgment and intuition when making decisions. And I'll just pop up this for anyone joining. But let's get to it. Hey to everyone in the chat. Thank you, Peter, for noticing my crystal ball, my glitter crystal ball. Hey Mariana, hey Lola. Let's head over to the list. I hope you guys are well. Oh, the list is building up. Lola, you're number 1 on the list, my dear. But thank you, Peter. I know that you checked out the my new channel, Seer Sounds, so thank you for subscribing. And you made it to the launch, which was awesome. Thank you to everyone who did. I really appreciate it. Felt the love. Let's get to it though. So Miss Lola, please post your question. Anyone interested? I'm using the Muse Tarot deck today. Let's move these candles into view. My flowers, spring flowers. Oh, I'm not actually reading this crystal ball. This is just for decoration. But maybe that's something to consider learning, Lola. I'll stick to the tarot for now. So, Lola asks, please channel messages from Joey. Hey, Sonali. No contact. Let's see what's going on with him. Interesting. Major Arcana, Lola. So this is his energy. And this is so he's in his Emperor energy. Emperor energy is all about it has a lot to do with being in control, Lola. It can be, just take what resonates here, that their focus may be on career, money, finances, because Emperor has a very 3D energy, okay, about the material world. It's very masculine energy in many ways. It can be quite rigid. It can be about rules, and about control. The main issue being about control. Now, when it's in its good side, its light side, this is like somewhat, it's the boss energy of the deck, okay? Someone who is kind of more in control of their life than maybe what we've seen actually in the past of this with Joey. The shadow side of the Emperor card is that they can be controlling. So I don't know if you know that about their character. Maybe this is where they've moved into. So it's either that they've kind of leveled up in some ways, if it's like a light energy and they're kind of maturing. But then the shadow side, yeah, is that they can become very controlling and want to kind of control everything and everyone around them. Tell me more about how this affects the connection between Joey and Lola. Four of materials, so another kind of interesting, it's very like controlling energy coming through with the four materials. It can be quite a stuck energy. So that's what I feel like is somehow the energy, like it's like they have sort of battened down the hatches at the minute. It can be fueled through insecurity, through feeling about fearful of losing what they have, so they're not prepared to take any risks or make any moves at the moment, Lola. And this kind of confirms to me with this four materials coming through that there is some shadow side energy of the Emperor coming through, that they are in a controlling kind of energy. They could be controlling, trying to control the people that they're in relationships with around them at the moment. They're in a place of fear, okay? And the four materials is that spirit is really encouraging them to move out of this, and would say, you know, we need to take some more risks and kind of loosen up, really. But, you know, that would take more cards and more in-depth reading. But with regards to where they're at now, in a nutshell, Lola, is that they seem to be very stuck in a kind of fearful place of change, or taking risks, making moves. And yeah, you might know this about their character already. Maybe you've seen this side of them, that when things get tough, or if they're going through a hard time for whatever reason, they can become very controlling and rigid and stuck. So I hope that resonated. Thank you, Janavi, for posting. So Janavi says, I'm still waiting for my visa results, okay? Today is a holiday in India, right? Visa, because I know it was probably this week. Visa department sends out all notifications by the 31st, okay, today. So I think this, yes. I'm so nervous, I bet you are. Can't wait anymore, but it's pretty unbearable, Janavi, yeah? Spirits, what message do you have for Janavi regarding this situation, this energy? What guidance messages do you have for her? You're welcome, Lola. message for Janavi. Oh, all these cards. Lots of messages. Oh, look. News. Knight of Voices. News, information, communication coming through. Now, this is a very bright and joyful card, okay? As well, like this Knight of Voices in particular in this deck is full of light, yeah? Full of brightness. Like it makes me feel and see sort of like a breath of fresh air. If you can see that too in that image, Janavi, kind of feel that. This horse, obviously this winged horse like Pegasus, comes flying in. It has a very uplifting quality to it. So news, literal, you know, which is what we're waiting on, yeah. News, information, coming through quickly as well. So this could be that, you know, that you get it maybe earlier in the week because it's kind of bursting through. I feel like it's bursting through the clouds, you know, like the sun bursting from behind the clouds. Any more messages, Spirit, please? Oh, horses, your favourite animal. Lovely. I do love horses as well. So strong, so powerful, but also so sensitive, yeah. Interesting. 5 inspiration. Maybe off the back of this news, some kind of, you know, 5 inspiration is about conflict. Can be inner conflict, can be external conflicts. I wonder if you'll get some pushback from people who, you know, say if this news is positive news and that this visa is confirmed. I don't know if you'll get pushback from people around you, if that's likely. Know that with the 5 of inspiration that this will blow over as well. So this just signals some kind of a bit of a kicking up the dust and a bit of drama. I think it's unlikely that you would feel conflict about, you know, the move or something. Maybe you will. Take what resonates with this, or it can come from other people. But no, with the 5 inspiration, because always when we see a 5, it's a bit of a storm in a teacup, yeah? Like it will blow over and it won't cause any real damage or affect, you know, long-term plans. It's just some kind of drama. I suspect it might come from others. Oh, right, okay, so maybe it's the conflict of the hope. I feel like this is like post information though, post news. I suppose it's just the hang on to your hat as well with it's, you know, it's such a difficult situation. I hope the waiting, yeah, the waiting is no doubt very painful. Try to meditate if you can, Janavi. And then we have fresh start, new beginning. The ace, the new beginning. Fire, again, more fire. Feeling inspired, feeling motivated. So positive. So whatever this little niggle is about, could be what's going on now, some internal conflict of like just managing these feelings. Or like if say you might get some pushback just from people that maybe want to keep you in your sort of where you are now. Who the change makes them feel anxious for some reason. You might get some pushback. Nothing that you can't handle there. With it being a 5, it won't really, it's not going to affect anything negatively, okay? But the most positive image here to hold on to, and I think to take away, is this beautiful horse here coming through. Oof, well, keep us posted, Janavi. Thinking of you, sending good vibes, sending peaceful vibes until that news comes as well, yeah? Some stillness, some peace to come your way. And let us know as soon as you can. Thank you, Mariana, for posting. Just a reminder for everyone to check out my new channel and consider subscribing. The link is just there in the chat. It's called Seer Sounds, and it's high vibe music and affirmations to amplify your manifestations easily. So if that's something you're interested in, if that's something you're keen on, please do head over and subscribe. The link is just in the chat there, or you can find it on my homepage. Thanks to everyone who came to the premiere. I really appreciate that. Bear with me one moment. I will be uploading sort of new music every week and also doing live streams as well, so check it out. Mariana, yes, Janavi, keep us posted. Mariana asks, will I hear good news in April about money? Let's check in. Ooh. Some Major Arcana, Mariana, with some devil energy coming through here. Now the devil energy, let me ask, are these finances connected to your ex at all? I'm just wondering if that's this energy coming through, because the devil energy is like being tied to someone, okay, or being tied to a toxic situation, toxic person, toxic behaviors that are hard to break, and it can often be a cycle that repeats, yeah? So our finances, Mariana, is there a connection in this, you know, this, when you talk about money in April, financial situation in April, does this relate to your ex? Is it dependent on his actions, I suppose, is what I'm asking. I'm just trying to dig to why this card has come through, okay? Please give us some more info, more advice about this devil energy. Okay, so that's his energy coming through, which tells me really, Mariana, that there is still some complications here that are ongoing, unfortunately. All that you can do to take control in this situation, Mariana, you probably understand this, but this is just reaffirm this message, is to try to play your part in to break this cycle as much as possible, to not buy into the toxicity, to have boundaries, to do what you can on your side, you know, keep, I like the expression, keep your side of the street clean. Okay, that's literally, that's all that we can do. We can't control other people's behaviors. If they're going to be messy, if they're going to try and pull us down, then, and be negative and be stuck in devil energy, then we can't, however much we try, yeah, and it can be so tempting, we can't stop them doing that, really. And that's something that they have to work out on their own. So we can, like we say, keep our side of the street clean and not buy into this and protect ourselves as much as we can. We're only human though, so of course, you know, if someone's going to be hurtful, nasty, play games, and you know, we are going to be hurt, yeah, but we can try not to be as reactionary maybe as we might be, and you know, explosive, and kind of let emotions get the better of us and kind of give into it, all of that stuff, yeah, about how the devil energy tries to drag us almost into our worst selves. Now, the three of emotions is a more positive and more hopeful energy that comes through. What comes through here is that things will, I do see this is a card of celebration. So this is a card of that maybe you will have some, if you can do that, okay, if you can hold on to this, not giving into this devil energy, then you will have an achievement, you know, there will be something to celebrate, almost like even if it's just a small win, but you will feel it and almost like have a kind of a breakthrough moment. This feels like as well also about relying, if you have people close to you who you can trust and lean on, friends, family, you know, females who maybe who you can share and understand what you are going through. It feels like that kind of sisterhood energy here that has come through with this three of emotions, emotions being obviously about our cups, so about our feelings. So try to not as well shut down and keep it all to yourself, Mariana. Try to lean on those around you. But it also speaks to me about some if we can hold on to our not buy into this devil energy, you will have an achievement and a small win. So I hope that resonates, Mariana. I know it's a tricky situation that you are in, that you find yourself in, okay? So keep us posted. Right, so we have our Peter. Hey, Kick It. If you want a free reading, my dear, just click the link in the pinned comment. You're very welcome, Mariana. I did see that our Peter had posted a question. There we go. Our Peter asks, I'm not having any specific question. Okay, anything I want to know for April? Hey, Nat Nat. Okay, messages for our Peter, please, for April. What does our Peter need to know about April? Ooh, nice. Queen of Materials here, our Peter. So, focus being and progress being made in the areas of finances, work, career, or however you or Peter meet the 3D world, okay? Be this in studying or... But this is all a card about stability, and it's a very abundant card as well. We can see how strong this woman feels, this queen feels. She's in her power. So if you've had a period of maybe instability, or this can be, you know, externally, it can be feeling a bit like not knowing the path ahead, sort of maybe not being clear. It could be about feeling emotionally like this as well, a bit kind of up and down and not feeling very grounded. Worries, fears kind of maybe getting the better of you. Or maybe you just haven't been very focused. And in April, what's going to come through is that, a few messages here, the need to get focused if you feel like you've been kind of dilly-dallying and struggling to get. Okay, so right now I'm trying to find clarity where to start my career, so there we go. So this suggests to me, Peter, so if you just continue to move forward with that intent, yeah, Peter, of finding clarity, listening to your higher self, exploring opportunities, you know, doing everything on your part that needs to be done, then this was in April, you will feel that shift and that change, okay? That will come for you in April. And look how the Queen of Pentacles, look how happy and confident she is, okay? She has a peace about her, don't you think, that you can see? Like there's a certainty and there's a confidence. So I feel like you will get that clarity will come to you in April, and you will move into this Queen of Materials energy. So you'll have some kind of breakthrough, some kind of certainty. The path will reveal itself to you, yeah? So that's exciting. What a great card to receive with that current energy up here for you. Hey Don's Journey, thank you so much for being here. You're on the list. I hope you're well. If this is your first time joining us, it's lovely to have you. She does look beautiful up here, isn't it? It's just the kind of energy that we would love to embody. You know, we want to be the Queen of Materials, yeah? She looks like she's very cool. Very cool, very grounded, very confident. Okay. Next up we have Nat Nat, my love. Please post your question. Anyone new here, thank you for joining us. Anyone who hasn't seen my new channel, Seer Sounds, it's a high vibe music and affirmation channel to amplify your manifestations. Please do consider subscribing. The link is in the chat and on my homepage. I would appreciate it, mucho, mucho. I will be updating new tracks every week and doing live streams. Please do head over there and subscribe. You're very welcome, Peter. Thank you, Peter. I appreciate you as well. So Nat Nat, my love, asks, what does Spirit want me to know? Spirit, what does Nat Nat need to hear right now, please? Just adjust this. Spirit, what does Nat Nat need to hear right now? Are we in the Five of Emotions, Nat? Some kind of loss, disappointment about a situation. Five of Emotions, so that would be traditionally, it's like the Five of Cups. It talks about situations that haven't worked out how we had hoped. And there being, you know, in the traditional deck of the Rider-Waite, you'll see the image of 3 cups that are upturned, that are spilt. However, 2 cups remain, which is potential opportunity that we are maybe not seeing at the moment in this situation. We are in the loss and the sadness and the disappointment, the 3 cups, what has gone wrong, what didn't work out. We are in that kind of energy, but which, you know, is understandable, is fair enough. For when something doesn't work out how we want, we need to give ourselves time to allow to feel those feelings of disappointment. But 5 Emotions tells us that we're kind of missing something here, maybe not seeing the full picture, not seeing that there is 2 cups that still remain, which is where we actually need to be looking. So disappointed about a few things but staying positive, so you are focusing on those 2 cups then, it would suggest. I suppose this card, what it comes through is that, what to me, particularly today, is what I hear and what I feel is that there's still, this situation isn't done with you. It's not over. There is something that still remains, if that resonates, okay? There is 2 cups still standing. So it's like that's the next chapter that is coming, okay? Tell me one more, please, Spirit, because I'm nosy. And then this is the new chapter, okay? The World Cosmos, Major Arcana. That, again, we're talking about, we just talked about new chapters being in that 2 of Cups. So it's like one cycle has ended, but there is a new cycle that is on its way to you, that is arriving. But it feels connected still to come out of the loss. So I hope this resonates. I don't know if it's to do with the person, and that the 2 cups is that there is another chapter in this connection. You know, it could be many things, but yeah, I just keep hearing like it's not as final as maybe what it feels. So I hope that resonated. You're welcome, Nat. Thanks, Janavi, for moderating. Yes, Eco7, if you could please post your question. Be back in 1 second. I can update the list, yeah. There we go. I don't think Eco7 is here. I'll give a shout out to Nettie, if you are here, my dear. So Eco7, yeah, if you want to post your question, please, Eco7. Eco7, Nettie, Sonali. Oh, but I missed your question, Eco. I don't think it posted. If you could just post it again. So Nettie, I'm not sure if you're still here. Oh, thank you, Nettie. So Nettie, I don't do yes, no questions. Thanks, Eco. So future energy regarding my new job perspective, trying to sell creative products online. Awesome. Let's have a look at the energy regarding your new job perspective. Congrats on doing that, Eco 7. Sounds like a wise move. Justice. So this is, it's a major arcana, okay? So there's important energy. This feels like an important shift, an important milestone. Justice as well is that I feel like that you will maybe get a sense of justice from this venture, maybe feeling more seen, more validated from your work. If that has maybe been lacking at times. But look at this transformation as well, okay? It's like this whole new you, or whole new, it's sort of telling us about the depth of this transformation is emerging, yeah? So we're undergoing a big change here. At times it might even feel like a little bit uncomfortable, okay? Just hearing the messages here. We need to stay centered. We need to stay grounded, because there will be some pressure in this situation, because it is a transformation, and almost I get the sense that like there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle, okay? There's a lot of moving parts to this venture. Maybe new skills, okay? New a lot of new skills to learn, just in the kind of maybe the tech side, or how to do this, or you know, just the kind of practicalities almost of it as well. But also I feel like a new you will kind of emerge as well in selling your art in this way, building an online presence. It will bring positive change because of it being justice as well. So I feel like you will have that come away by the end of it. So go within and be strong and stay centered and grounded through this journey, because where it is taking you is to feelings of being more satisfied and feeling a sense of, yeah, like justice in being rewarded, being seen, validated, you know, more financial reward, good feedback, all that stuff, okay? So this is a big deal. It feels like a big deal to be doing this, and a positive move. I hope that resonated. Okay. General reading for Nettie. Sure thing, Nettie. What does Nettie need to hear right now, please, Spirit? You're welcome, Eco 7. 5 of Voices. Shifting then into the Knight of Voices. So the Five of Voices is talks about some kind of conflict. It can talk about even maybe having disagreements with those around you, or internal disagreements, okay? Not being able to make a decision in many ways. There is a kind of harshness to this card, with it being voices, which in the traditional deck is swords. So it's kind of like the hard edge of a sword, yeah? I know you have had, with your questions about finances and about the apartment as well. So maybe it's like things maybe feel a bit up in the air right now. If there's anyone as well about who you feel like there's some negative energy coming in, because the Five of Voices can talk about that as well, about maybe situations that need to be left behind that do cause conflict. Maybe that's what you're in the process of with a move that you're trying to do, move towards some kind of peace. Positive news will come in though with this Knight of Voices, like it came through earlier, and it's such a beautiful card, and it's about news and positive change, okay? And when it does come in, Nettie, it will come in fast, okay? So maybe if you've had, like I say, a confusing time, not being able to get focused or on track, having disagreements with people around you, having internal conflicts about what to do next, where to go, that kind of energy, yeah, not being able to get traction forward. This news and this information, so it could be, the right apartment to move to, for example, or the finances that the green light somehow of financial improvement, however that might come in the form of a new job or something like that. This will give you direction, and this will give you clarity. Both of these cards' voices is about clarity. So that is coming through for you in the near future. So if you're feeling kind of a bit despondent, mixed up, doubtful, this positive news will come through, and then this will then inform your next steps. You'll know what to do next once this happens. So that's what we're waiting for, and it is the promise that it is on its way. Thanks, Janavi, for moderating. So yes, we have Sonali next, if you are still here, my dear. Hey Gia, you're on the list. Thanks for submitting. This is the list update for anyone who's interested. I'm not sure if Sonali is still here. We have Sonali, Don's Journey. If you were here, please post your question. Whoever posts first from Sonali or Don's, I'll just read for first to keep it moving. Oh, thank you, Don's. So I'll read for Don's, and then Tej, I'll read for you after, okay? You're welcome, Nettie. Don's asks, my question, how does Chelsea feel about possibly having a relationship with me? She's a Leo and I'm a Capricorn. Thank you, Don's. Let's have a look at Chelsea's feelings around this. Queen of Voices. Tell me more about this, Spirit. Definitely potential here. Now, the Queen of Voices, Dons, is someone who is quite analytical by nature, okay? They're really there. They don't allow their feelings to rule them. Their head rules their heart. So they can be, take their time, cautious, okay? They may be an air sign or have this prominent in their chart. But it can just be about something about their character, okay? Now, the Queen of Voices is someone who you can't really, you have to be direct with them, and you have to move towards them in quite, say what would fly best with them would be being frank, would be being direct, would be truthful, honest, okay? And they're probably not someone who would rush into things. So I don't know how long that you've known each other, or how long this has been on the cards, but it can take them time to kind of warm up, because they are almost skeptical by nature and they're quite a tough cookie, yeah? But they are, you know, they have incredible strength. I don't want to paint like a bad picture of them if I feel like it's been negative. The Queen of Voices is a very charismatic, very powerful person. You know, they're in their queen energy. They know themselves. Dawn says, so accurate. She doesn't seem very emotional much yet. I think it's saying more about how I feel than her. We've been dating for about 2 months. Okay. So yeah. Someone who head rules the heart. Now, what is encouraging, Dons, is that we have the 3 of inspiration. Now, the inspiration is ruled by fire. So this is much warmer in a sense. This talks about something, another layer behind the surface that is going on, which is about attraction, about there being a physical attraction here, a magnetic pull. And the 3 of inspiration is also about thinking of the future and planning. So I feel like that her mind is going and thinking in this direction about the future and thinking about the potential future for you both. So she is beginning to think in that context. Maybe not sharing, you know, it is early days, so not sharing that with you. We've seen that she's not someone who rushes in. They need to take their time. They could be even an overthinker, you know, they are certainly a thinker, and that can go into overthinking possibly. But like you say, move forward with direct communication. When the timing feels right, you know, just be, they will respond to being honest. And this is her energy coming through, yeah. It's kind of her more emotional side that does exist here. And it's like the other shoe will drop. We see this domino effect that I feel like there'll be a tipping point at some point, and then she will open up more. And open up more to you, and then it's like this connection will be able to progress. So don't be put off by the coolness maybe that you're feeling. This is just something about her character. This is just how she operates. Cautious, a thinker, but she is thinking and planning, almost like imagining a future and life together there. So positive, Dawn. So yeah, I'm glad, I hope that resonated. I'm glad that it sounded like it connected for you. So keep us posted with that. Nice queen energy there though. Queens have a lot to offer. Thank you, Janavi. Yeah. just anyone who, like Janavi said, just hold your question until you're called. So if you're on the list, you're on the list, you will get read for. And I'm obviously will just read in order, and just wait for your name to be called and then have your question ready, rather than spamming the chat. So thank you, Genovi, for moderating. And Tej, this is for you, my love. And then just check where you are on the list and then just be ready with your question. Tej, this is for you. So what are Siddharth's next action towards me? Still no contact. Let's check in with Siddharth's energy. Five of materials. This talks about, so this is their energy and something that I feel like it's cropped up a few times, something that they might be going through. Five of materials can be about loss and disappointment, sometimes it often relating to the material world, okay, so money, career, studies, that kind of thing, you know, there being some kind of setback or feeling overwhelmed, stress. You see how this person sort of closed in on themselves here. Now what they're missing is that there is this kind of gateway here, which is the way forward. There is another opportunity, there is a pathway forward, but they're not able to focus on it at the moment. Because they seem to be quite down, quite emotionally down through, they haven't recovered yet from this setback. So this is Tej giving us insight into where Siddharth is at, maybe why there's still no contact, because there's something else going on for them, yeah, which is taking up their energy, which is taking up which is going on for them in their life, which has got them down, disappointed and distracting. They need to be able to pull themselves out of this first before they can really do anything and look around and consider anything else that's going on before moving forward. I feel like this is your energy, reaching out to them, wanting to connect to them, trying to connect them, but they are out of reach at the moment, yeah? So this just needs time. We just need to wait for this to pass before we can see movement again. Hey travel lover, nice to see you. I hope you're well. So yes, just like Janavi says, kick it, you are next on the list. Travel lover, you're on the list. So we have, I've posted the list not far up, but I will post it again to update. So we have Kick It with Jay. Please post your question. You're welcome, Tej. I hope that resonated. Acharo, you are after Kick It as well, so if you want to post your question, just so we can keep things moving. Hey Ivo. Divyansha is on twice, you're right, Ivo. I'll just read once, so after. I hope you're well, Ivo. Travel lover. Oh no, tonsils out tomorrow. Not so nice. Good luck with that, travel lover. So Kick It With Jay, Archaro, Gia98. Is anyone out there? Please post your question. If not, I will move on. Ice cream. The only positive thing from this travel, hey? Divyansha, are you here? Travel lover, do you want to go ahead and post your question? I don't know where everyone else has gone. So just go ahead and post your question. People get tired of waiting. Ivo says, yeah, don't forget a huge tub of ice cream and jelly. What's everyone's favourite? Not tarot related. Everyone's favourite ice cream flavour. Let's put it in the chat. And guess what? I am lactose intolerant, so I can't have ice cream. How sad. And dairy-free ice cream just doesn't cut it for anyone who's tried it. Traveller asks, what is Steve thinking of me? Sure thing. Cookies and cream, Ivo says, yeah. Ooh, mocha almond fudge. Nice. Both sound good. Let's check in with Steve. It is horrible, Ivo. It is. It's mean. Oh, wow. So we've got the Muse of Emotions. So this is like the King of Cups here, travel lover, yeah? Some big feelings going on here still. I know we've seen this quite a bit with Steve as well. Obviously, I haven't read for a while. But I get this sense and this feeling that, you know, he can be quite emotional. And he is someone who struggles with managing their feelings. And I feel like there is still a lot of feelings around this connection, around you. But they're not really able to, when they're feeling overwhelmed, they're not really able to move forward. It almost gives them kind of a paralysis and makes them feel stuck and almost shut down. I don't know if you experienced this firsthand with them. Tell me more, Spirit. Yeah, and so something through voices, so they're in some kind of heartache, heartbreak, going through. So I'm wondering as well if this is something that's going on for them in life in general, like in a broader perspective, that they are in some kind of pain, going through an emotional time. I mean, it was in regards to you as well, so they can feel this heartbreak and heart loss about the connection not working out. So they have periods of sadness and depression about this. But like I say, they are someone who, when they kind of get this sadness, heartbreak, heart loss, with some people, it kind of makes us proactive, yeah? We kind of look what we can do and how can we heal, how can we make this better. And I feel like with Steve, that because maybe he's a very sensitive soul, or someone who hasn't been able to learn how to process feelings very well in life growing up, and isn't particularly maybe very self-reflective even, or has difficulty doing that, then they tend to sink in these feelings. Ruminate and ruminate, yeah, so much. So that very heavy energy, very down, and maybe even some kind of depression here, travel lover. So this is around your connection, feeling the sadness and loss of the connection, not being able to be proactive, but also I feel like maybe something is going on in their life as well, other than that, or they're going through a period maybe of depression. Doesn't even have to be instigated necessarily by anything. That comes through very strong with where they're at. So I hope that resonated, travel lover. Janavi says, oh, I can't believe this, Janavi. I am also gluten intolerant. It's so miserable, isn't it? I can't believe that Janavi is as well. It's always nice to hear about someone who also has it. It's very difficult to find, anything. I just, eat for fuel now rather than, not enjoyment. It's unusual to meet someone who is lactose and gluten intolerant, so I am those two as well. I think they often go like hand in hand, actually. Anyway, I won't go on about this too much, but I could. Are you as well, Chanley? So we were just talking about ice cream, and I shared, so I'm lactose intolerant and gluten intolerant like Janavi. So, no bread, no pasta, but no chocolate, ice cream, no cheese. I miss cheese the most. Anyway, back to hi Chanley, I'm glad that you're here, my love, anyway. Travel Lover says he's very likely to be always negative and depressed. Yeah, drowns in a glass of water until I showed him happiness is a choice. Yeah, very tendency to be low mood there. That's hard. Again, sometimes we can't pull people out of that often. Yeah, I wouldn't really like to take the medicine. Janavi says, oh, you too. Very difficult lifestyle. It is, yeah. It's rare in India, is it? I was wondering that. Apparently, I think there's things that you can take, but I don't really trust them. That you can, I know with lactose that you take like an enzyme, but I still feel like if your body is rejecting it, that it's probably not good to have. Yeah, I didn't find it to be very effective. Ugh, yeah, plant-based cheese is just not very nice, travel lover, I don't find. Well, not here in the UK. It's very like people aren't very accommodating to it at all. I've heard actually in Italy, which you wouldn't think, but in Italy, apparently gluten-free options are like amazing. Which is surprising to me. I thought it would be like very limited there. In the UK, it's really terrible. People don't really take on particularly gluten-free stuff, but definitely not gluten-free and dairy. Like lactose is like there is nothing. Anyway, sorry guys, I'm having a detour. I'll have to have another live session about the gluten and lactose intolerant club. Oh yeah, please do, travel lover. It's probably become more and more common as I think, like, you know, foods have become much more processed and refined. So it's much more difficult for our bodies to digest. Okay, anyway, moving on. Divyansha, go ahead, my dear, and post your question. Then we have Chanley, and then we have, oh, I think this is, I don't know who's put this, I think they put their question in the username. What's headed towards me in love? Someone has put that in the username box, I think, by accident. But anyway, Divyansha, please post your question, my dear. When I was young, I drank milk, yeah. Yeah, let's have a live session for gluten-free vegan lifestyle. It would be a therapy session about the distress of not being able to eat anything nice. So Kick It, we called you earlier, but you weren't here. So we had to skip you. If I've got time, I will read for you at the end. But you were much further up the list, so we did give you a shout. But let's say if I call and there's no response, then obviously I have to keep things moving. Same for you, Archana. Hey, Tia Bia. Kick It was on the list, Chanley, but it was just they were skipped because they weren't here. I'm waiting for Divyansha to answer, but I think they've gone. So, Chanley, please post your question. Kick It, let's say if I've got time, I will read for you. Because a few people aren't here. What I'll do is I'll close the list now. Yeah, Tia, you're on the list. So if I've got time, Kick It, I will. But obviously, you know, if I do called you a few times, and I do have to move on. Chanley, please post your question. Archana, the same. So I called your name and you were not here, so I had to move on and skip. If I have got time, I will read for you at the end. Oh, right. Thank you, Nightfall. No problem. Thanks for clarifying. So I'll read for you after Chanley and then Tia Bia. Right. Chanley asks, may I know what Spirit would like me to tell me for the next month? So as we are entering April, how did everyone find the Aries new moon, the solar eclipse, by the way, as well? I felt the effect more of the lunar eclipse was very big impact. Not quite so much with the solar eclipse. Okay, Chanley. So Spirit, what does Chanley need to know for the next month? Ooh, nice. Major Arcana, Chanley. So some big shifts, some forward momentum, okay? Making me tired. What's making you tired? Despite being tired, Chanley, there is going to be a lot of forward momentum here with the Chariot, so Major Arcana. I'm thinking potentially if this would be with regards to your new business, but beginning to make some real traction. So wherever your energy, wherever your focus is, okay, can we see this? What we need to do is follow our intuition. This is coming from kind of around our solar plexus, our area, okay? It's like that feeling, yeah, where you can, so yeah, I feel it. So with that intuitive guidance as well, that you need to follow that like you would follow a scent in a way. That is the most important thing to when making decisions, and to get the Aries moon, sorry. But look at all these charges, these horses here that are pulling you in a direction. So if there's been a lot of effort here, something that you've been putting a lot of effort in, maybe making you tired and you feel like you haven't really felt that push and that momentum and that breakthrough that is needed, say in the next month that this is what you will begin to feel. And with the Chariot comes a new sense of confidence, Chanley, okay? The Chariot brings in this energy that it says really that the train is on the track, okay, and it's like an unstoppable energy really, because it's so determined, and it's a very empowered energy. So rather than waiting almost for green lights or for people to say yes to things, or it's like you just feel in that space where you are going to make it happen, whatever, and any obstacles that are thrown in your path, you have the confidence to overcome, okay? So it's like the doubt really goes away, and it's almost like the 3D matters less, because you feel so determined and so certain that it's almost just a matter of time before we see this manifest really. So you can expect that change. Things will pick up, things will speed forward, the doubt will dissipate. So I hope that resonated, Chanley. So next we have Nightfall Bliss, my dear. If you want to, oh well, I have your question here. So what's heading towards you in love? Just tell me, so Nightfall Bliss, are we in a connection? Are we single? Just so I can know, helps me to connect with your energy. Anyone involved? You're very welcome, Chanley. Claim this message, yeah. Chariot energy is always great to see. Okay, Nightfall Bliss, this is for you. So what's next in love? The Hanged Muse, it's a major arcana, Nightfall. And what it suggests is that what's coming next is that there is a shift in perspective for you. I'm going to pull another card to get more clarity, but the Hanged Muse is maybe that this situation, okay, in love, that it can be that you felt quite stuck. And it's the Hanged Muses as well, because it's always someone that's upside down, so it's like the Hanged Man, is that it's quite like an uncomfortable position to be in. So maybe that's how it's felt for you being single. Maybe it's not something that you particularly enjoy. Now, with the Hanged Muse as well, it says that I don't really see that the change needs to be about in action, kind of doing more, or, you know, sometimes I would say, you know, are we getting out there enough? Are we, you know, making sure that we're in a space where we can attract love and cross paths with people and social. But that's not the message here with the Hanged Muse. The change needs to come within, and the perspective needs to shift. Maybe about your situation, there seems to be some kind of, maybe that you see being single as only negative. That's just one example of what it could be. But actually there's something positive to be gained from this situation, from this. There will be someone coming down the line for you next. But what's to be gained in this time when we're on our own, about understanding what we want in a relationship more, enjoying our own company, doing things that we enjoy. Tell me more about this Hanged Muse, or what's coming next. Yeah, because there we have the new beginning, which is an attraction, the ace of inspiration. So it's an ace, it's a new beginning, it's a new start with someone, an attraction often when we see inspiration, because it's the element of fire, which is about physical attraction. It's about having that spark with someone, and maybe that's what you haven't felt maybe for some time. But there's a magnetism, and it kind of gets you thinking about, someone comes into the picture where it feels like there is real potential here. Yeah. But in the meantime, let's not just think, oh, this is wasted time, okay, when we're on our own before this person comes in. I did feel straight away that it's inevitable that this next person will come through, and that spark of attraction will happen, and a new chapter will begin with someone. But in the meantime, it feels imperative to have this shift in perspective. I wonder if as well it's about maybe doing things different in this relationship than what we've done in the past. Is it about integrating lessons that we've learned? It feels a lot about getting to know yourself more on a deeper level, in order that we're ready, okay, to make the best of this. So I hope that resonated. So Tia Bia, my love, this is for you. I'm just going to, please post your question, but I'm just going to scroll back to, I saw your message, your update. Jay the Leo has been talking to me a bit more. How exciting. Last time I saw him, he gave me a big hug and a kiss in front of everyone. Wow. So Arcana, I called for you earlier and you weren't here. So like I'd say, you at the start of the live, if I call your name and you're not here, I do have to skip you in order to keep things moving, obviously to be fair to everyone else who's on the list. So when I called you, you weren't here, so we had to move on. So TB, my love, deaf in person. Okay, that's good to know. So not texting yet, but let's do a check-in with Jay the Leo. some regret here that is setting in for him, which I feel like has come up a bit before, Tia. That this is, we saw this kind of catching up with him. And this devil energy, okay, being the kind of way that he behaved, yeah, those patterns that he repeated. I think about being emotionally kind of unavailable, you know, cycling around the old, yeah. But then feeling the pinch of that, okay, wanting to change and wanting to free themselves of that habit, which they maybe, I feel like, can feel and see more the toxicity of that and how it wasn't fulfilling, yeah. Ultimately, it's like we always get burnt by this devil energy. It might feel good for, you know, a moment whilst we're in it, but then the hangover, literal or not, you know, the hangover of our actions begins to wear thin. And that's where, so behind the scenes, there's something quite heavy going on here really for the Leo, okay? And some heartache, heartbreak, sadness as well. So maybe about how things went down with you, and maybe feeling down about themselves and this devil energy. I'm going to see what comes kind of after this. He probably hasn't shared anything with that with you because it's kind of something that you would probably keep to yourself. For now anyway, at least, because he seems to be in the middle of it. Maybe pride would probably stop him sharing this. He wouldn't want to admit that the darker side of what's happened. Feelings towards Tia, I feel like we need more clarity on. I suppose we see some heartache and pain here. That sting of loss being part of this. Lovely. Major Arcana, so this feeling's more towards you wanting to take a risk really now, Tia Beer, which is maybe what it's always been about this devil energy. You know, being emotionally unavailable really is about not being able to take emotional risk, isn't it? Not being vulnerable really is kind of the aim of the game, keeping people at arm's length. So there is this feeling emerging now, Tia, about wanting to take a risk. The Fool takes a leap of faith, and is kind of getting to that point where they want change. Yeah, they want to do things differently, and maybe a understanding how this is not satisfactory. And by taking this leap of faith and being vulnerable, is really only where the chance of having real love, real relationship, real connections can happen. So there's a lot going on there, Tia, behind the scenes with them. Two major arcanas. At the centre, Three of Voices, this heartache about what's gone on. Wanting to break toxic behaviours, seeing how that didn't serve them, didn't serve you. And then finally the Fool getting to that point where yes, they are prepared now to take a risk because they know it's beginning to dawn on them that this is the only way that they'll have chance for a real connection. So I hope that resonated, Tia. Hope that resonated. So Arcana, yes, if you want to go post your questions. So Arcana, Kick It With Jay, and Divyansha. I think it's probably as far back as I can go. I think he will, Tia. If you know you've been receptive to him, haven't you? But you know, I feel like this is something important, that this realization is something that he would have to go through. Yeah. So Divyansha, post your question now. I think just time wise, I don't know if Kick It With Jay is here. You're welcome, Tia. Okay, so Arcana, feelings. Shall I wait for him? Okay, that's a good question, Arcana. You can, Arcana, but it would take a lot of strength, okay? The Strength card here, Major Arcana, it will take, I suppose what I feel like that it's saying, that Spirit is saying, Arcana, is that obviously free will in this situation, and I feel like there is potential still for, the door is still open with regards to this connection, which we've seen in the past, but it will take a lot from you. So I suppose what you need to do is ask yourself that question of how much are you prepared to give to this situation? Is it, you know, does there come a point when we, you know, give too much and it isn't really worth whatever we get back, yeah? That it can, the relationship can break down. So the door is still open. There is, let's say, there is a future, there is a potential here, but it will take a lot from you. I think you already know this. And that is only a question that you can answer if you feel happy, you know, feel like to be able to give this freely. Those kind of difficult questions that we need to ask ourselves, because the Strength card is all about courage. It's about digging deep, and giving an awful lot of ourselves to make the distance, and I suppose it could take a lot of time and patience. So I would say if you've been waiting for 3 years, that maybe they've taken enough from you, Arcana, okay? But obviously only you can answer that. Thank you, Travel Lover, for that recipe for no chum juice ice cream. Coconut milk, yes. So Divyansha, if you're still here, just before I go, I can read for you. But if not, I'll have to, if you're not here, I'm just going to end the live now. You're welcome, Archana. And thank you, Travel Lover. It's nice to see you again back in the chat. Right, I'm going to end the live here. I am back on Wednesday, guys, for more tarot reading. Please join me then. Please check out my new channel, Seer Sounds Manifestation Music, to raise your vibe and amplify your manifestations. That is like my sister channel, I like to call it. But for more tarot, catch me the same time, it'll be 1:30 GMT time on Wednesday. But wishing you all the best, love and light. Thank you, Travel Lover, for your recipes and instructions. Hugs to you, Ivo, hugs to you. I don't want to cut Travel Lover off. Freeze for at least 4 hours. Do not boil. Thank you, Travel Lover. I will have to try that for sure. Helping us lactose intolerant people out. Love and light, love and light. Hopefully see you Wednesday, guys. Take